The movie begins with a young woman and a man breaking into a place as the alarm goes off. The girl is narrating the story and she says that minors are not responsible for their actions technically. The girl tries to run back from the place but the man stops her and tells her that they need to stick to the plan. The scene shifts to 5 months earlier and we see the same 16-year-old girl named Miranda working at McDonald's. Miranda explains that she was always feeling something is about to happen as long as her father stayed with her, but now that she is living alone, she follows a routine and sleeps peacefully. Miranda has been abandoned by her mother and has dropped out of school. She supports herself by working at McDonald's while her father, Charlie, is in a mental institution. Her life looks miserable but she is doing everything a teenage kid can do to survive in this cruel world. The following day, Charlie is released and Miranda goes to pick him up. Miranda looks a bit nervous about receiving her father and, when Charlie is released, Miranda finds the relatively peaceful existence she's built for herself disrupted. Charlie is supposed to have recovered, but he rambles on with strange theories. For example, he tells her that naked Chinese men are swimming ashore so they can live in California. Miranda feels like her father will never recover from his mental illness and now she will have a miserable life once again. Back at home, Charlie begins acting crazier. Miranda catches him talking in some weird language with a microphone on and he mumbles naked Chinese guys. Miranda thinks that Charlie is still sick even after being 2 years in the hospital and it irritates her. She catches him off guard and asks him what he is up to. Upon seeing Miranda, Charlie quickly hides the microphone and begins acting normally. Then, he asks Miranda about her weird clothes, and she informs him that this is her uniform and she has to wear it for work. Charlie then asks her why she isn't going to school and Miranda tells him that she needs money to survive and this is what she has been doing while he was missing for 2 years of her life. Charlie doesn't even realize how his daughter has been trying to get her life together for the past 2 years because he believed that Miranda is still going to school. When Miranda gets home from work, she meets Pepper, who is one of Charlie's old friends. Pepper offers Charlie a cigarette, but he refuses. They both spend some time with each other and then Pepper leaves. One day, Charlie decides to get a job and Miranda drops him off for the interview. She explains how difficult her life got when her mom abandoned her and Charlie had to take care of her. This situation at home made things difficult for her at school and she eventually had to drop out. While she is thinking about all these things, Miranda falls asleep in the car. When she wakes up, she realizes that Charlie has not come back. She goes inside to check on him and finds that there are no interviews going on. Miranda gets worried about her father because she believes that Charlie is in no state to be left alone. She begins searching for him and finds him wandering on the streets and gets mad at him. On their way back, Charlie asks Miranda to pull over the car on the side, but it frustrates her and she tells him no. Charlie threatens her that he will leave on his own if she doesn't stop, so Miranda has no choice but to stop. Charlie gets out of the car as soon as it stops. Miranda waits for him in the car and meanwhile, she has a flashback of him trying to kill himself by hanging to the ceiling. This makes her feel bad for her father. Miranda decides to go after him and watches him dig the ground. At night, Miranda finds him in the car and hits him in the head thinking that it's some intruder. She asks him what he is up to at this hour of the night and Charlie tells her that he has something important to do. Seeing that Charlie won't stop at any cost, Miranda decides to join him. Charlie takes her to a strange place, and they get inside by hopping over its fence. After walking for a while, Charlie shows Miranda a metal detector, what he calls an Excalibur 1000. Then he teaches her how different sounds are made according to different metals under the earth. Charlie finds a couple of things made up of different metals and shows them to Miranda. Suddenly, the metal detector starts beating very fast and Charlie begins digging there. He finds a doubloon from the 17th century and starts researching about it. Back home, Charlie tells Miranda about his investigation regarding the records of the Spanish treasury. This is when Miranda realizes that Charlie is obsessed with the idea that the long-lost treasure of Spanish explorer Father Juan Flores Martorres is buried near their suburban California house in the Santa Clarita Valley. Miranda thinks that Charlie is losing his mind again, so she decides to leave him alone. Later that night, Charlie comes to her room and tries to convince her that this is his last shot to feel himself again. He tells her that he doesn't feel alive anymore and that finding this treasure will bring back meaning to his life. Then he gives her the doubloon they found earlier in a journal and leaves. Miranda begins inspecting the journal and reads everything related to the treasure of Father Torres. Initially skeptical, Miranda finds herself joining in Charlie's questionable antics to give him one last shot at accomplishing his dreams. Following the journal of Father Juan Flores Martorres, they find another place that might be the location of the treasure. They find a rock placed there which has some strange markings on it. Charlie and Miranda get excited to find out about it. However, as they are trying to look beneath the rock, an officer approaches them and inquires about them. Miranda asks her father to leave, but he instead flirts with the officer and gives her his phone number. After this, the two of them continue their expedition of finding the treasure. One day, Charlie brings an excavator to dig another place. While they are busy digging the place, another officer notices it and approaches them, but Charlie says that they have every right to be here. Then, suddenly he finds some broken pieces of water jugs, which according to Charlie are from the time of Father Torres. He gets very excited about his discovery and believes that they may be close to finding what they are actually looking for. He asks Miranda to hold these pieces in her hands and feel them. Miranda suggests that they should take these pieces to an archaeologist, but Charlie insists that he cannot allow anyone to ruin his expedition. Actually, Charlie was trying to locate Santa Clarita River. He believed that if they follow its actual route, they will be able to find the location where Father Torres and his men were forced to abandon their gold. However, there was an obstacle in the way. The location where Charlie was going to dig up next had an entire store called Costco built over it. Charlie goes inside the store, and while he was trying to locate the gold, he discovers that they have to dig at least 6 feet down to find the treasure. Miranda gets frustrated with him because they simply cannot dig that much on private property and leaves Charlie alone. The following day, Miranda discovers that Charlie has sold her car to pay the rent of the excavator. Miranda gets furious at Charlie for ruining her life and asks him to come to reality and forget this treasure hunt. Seeing her daughter in a miserable condition, Charlie sells some of his personal stuff and gets Miranda's car back. Then, he encourages Miranda to get a job there so they can plan a way to excavate it. She starts working at Costco and ingratiates herself with the manager and his swingers group, giving her a chance to steal a master key. After getting the key, Miranda gets back home and finds Charlie with his friend Pepper. Charlie informs Miranda that Pepper used to work for an alarm service company, and he understands all kinds of alarms better than anyone. Miranda finds that Charlie had revealed all of their plan to Pepper, and it doesn't sit well with her. The next morning, Miranda discovers that they are homeless now because Charlie did not pay back any of his loans to the bank. Seeing it as their last chance, Miranda decides to join Charlie in his expedition to break into the store. This is when the scenes shift to the beginning of the movie when the three of them were trying to break into the store. Miranda, Charlie, and their friend Pepper use the key to enter the Costco after hours, setting off an alarm, but Pepper quickly reprograms it to make it seem it was triggered by a propane leak. After the firefighters and police come in, they hide behind some huge boxes. Once the firefighters have come and gone, Charlie locates the location of the treasure. He drags some heavy boxes out of the way, and after changing a couple of locations, Charlie finally decides one place to dig. They begin drilling through the floor and after some time use some other machines to dig further. Meanwhile, Pepper, standing watch outside, is spotted by a police patrol. At first, Pepper tells them that his motorcycle is not working, which is why he is stuck here. However, he notices lights coming out of the store. So, worried that they will notice lights inside the store, he speeds off to divert them. He keeps speeding away from the police to buy Charlie and Miranda enough time to dig through. On the other hand, Charlie and Miranda find a smelly underground river. Miranda says that it must be an underground sewer, but Charlie insists that they have found the Santa Clarita River just as mentioned in the journal. After this, Charlie dons scuba gear and decides to dive into the river. Miranda begs him to stop because she believes that it's just a sewer, but Charlie insists that there is sulfur in the river which is causing the smell. After this, he bids farewell to Miranda and jumps right into the river. Meanwhile, police catch up with Pepper and arrest him. They ask him to lie down, but during his arrest, they find the walkie-talkie he was using to communicate with Miranda and Charlie and deduce that a robbery is taking place at the store. Then, the police alert any available unit to reach Costco and stop the robbery. Miranda tries to contact Pepper, but when she realizes something is wrong, she tries to pull Charlie back out of the river. However, Charlie is so determined to find the treasure that he pushes her off and goes deeper into the river. After some time, he emerges from the river and claims it is indeed where the treasure is buried. As soon as Charlie comes out of the river, he sees Miranda unconscious, lying on the floor while her head is bleeding. He picks her up and takes her somewhere to lie down. Then, he cleans her wound and tells her that he has found the treasure and he must go back to get it. Suddenly, the police arrive, and Charlie begins tying Miranda's hands and legs. Then he gives Miranda a tag and tells her not to lose it. Miranda looks confused and asks Charlie what he is doing, but he tells Miranda to not let the police push her around. He asks her to stay hidden and inform the police that she was forced to do this. After bidding her farewell to Miranda once again, Charlie leaves. When the police arrive at the Costco, Charlie is seen carrying a small, heavy chest, hiding from the police. He jumps into the river again, swims farther, sees a bright light, and swims towards it. Meanwhile, Miranda is found and rescued by the police. In the end, Miranda's off-screen voice says that Charlie's body was never found, although he is seen still alive, swimming in the river. The next day, Miranda visits Costco and finds the product the tag belongs to, a dishwasher different than the one which she had previously admired. Using a credit card Charlie obtained for her, she buys it and takes it to the beach in her old car. When she opens it, she is seen bathed in a golden glow and a slow smile spread across her face, implying that Charlie has cached the gold inside it. Hearing a commotion on the beach, she finds naked Chinese men coming ashore. This is where the movie ends. Have you ever watched a movie like Charlie? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.